Hi, welcome to yoga. Today our theme is going to be about fall. So thinking about fall and the trees and how everything is changing outside, I found some interesting ideas that relate to ourselves. You are capable of letting go of what is no longer serving you. You can embrace the process of becoming who you truly are. You are worthy and you are allowed to rest when you need to. I love that one. And you feel the joy of embracing new things in your life. Our spotlight is going to be on Shavasana, and that's kind of a different one because that's our ending pose, called corpse pose sometimes. And it is that time to rest after we've used a lot of muscles, engage them, and stretch them. And it is the time to rest. So make sure you always do that. So let's start with our breath, bringing our palms together at heart center. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Long, deep breaths. Making each breath just a little bit longer than the last until finally your breath is 2 to 3 times longer than your normal breath. And then bringing the lips together and starting to breathe in and out through your nose. Using your body like a furnace, warming yourself up. Noticing the sound of the air circulating in the back of your throat. Becoming aware of your body, of your toes, your fingers, your eyelashes, resting on your cheeks perhaps. And then as you inhale, let's bring the arms out to the sides. And we're going to just do a little circling here, going forward and then going backward. Yeah, nice. And then bring the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, fold forward, reaching for your toes, keeping the spine nice and straight. So I have the soles of my feet together. If that's uncomfortable, you can always straighten out the legs here. Push the hips back, top of the head forward. Yeah. Feel the spine lengthening here. And then as you inhale, come up to seated, bring the arms out to the side. As you exhale, twist to the right. Right hand goes behind you. Left hand comes out in front. As you exhale, bring that right hand down and inhale the left arm up, gaze up. Stretch those fingers up toward the sky or the ceiling. As you inhale, come back to center, bringing the palms together at heart center. And then as you inhale, bring those arms out again. Exhale, left hand out behind you, right hand forward. Exhale, left hand comes down and right hand comes up overhead. Reach and stretch. Exhale, bring the palms together at heart center. Let's open up the legs. So we have a mat that we're sitting on, and we have a block and straps. And if you look at the directions or description beforehand, I usually tell you what you need. So if you didn't look at that, you'll also need a large pillow or a bolster. All right. So you can always stop the tape and go and get that. And we want to take the bolster and put it in between our legs. Bring our legs nice and far apart and pull the bolster in towards your pelvic area. And then push the heels forward and the toes towards you. Inhale the arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Reaching forward here. Keep pushing those heels forward. Resting your hands on that pillow or bolster. Good. Nice job. Feel the stretching on the inner thighs. Let's turn the toes outward a little bit. Good. And just notice the difference there. And then turn the toes inward and notice what happens there. Just kind of noticing what your body is doing. Being aware of your muscles and what goes on as you move. Let's put the toes so that they're facing upward now. And then inhale, come up to seated, bring your arms up overhead, gaze up and stretch. And as you exhale, we're going to tip and bring our hands down toward the left toes. Right hand comes over your right ear, and that's also reaching for the right toes, or left toes, sorry. Inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, let's reach both hands toward the right toes. Good. Beautiful. Just feel that nice stretch along the left obliques, this whole side area on your left side. Inhale, come back to seated. Cross your legs in front of you. You can move this bolster out of the way. And then let's come into a tabletop pose. On your hands and knees, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hip bones. And inhale, the head and the hips come up. Exhale, round the back, gazing behind you. Let's go back and forth between those two poses, syncing your movement with your breath and with your drishti. Your drishti is your gaze. In yoga, our gaze is kind of like looking through things without looking at them, so that you're concentrating more on your body, your movements, rather than any of the external things that are going on around you. Beautiful. Feel your body starting to warm up here. Good. And then coming back into tabletop pose, swishing the hips from side to side. Good. Beautiful. And then we're going to do thread the needle. So let's bring the right arm up, gaze up, opening the chest toward the right. And then as you exhale, that right hand and arm come underneath the left and bring the right side of your face down. Your right shoulder comes down. Maybe your left hand stays here in front of your face, or maybe you bring it behind your back. And just let yourself soften here. Imagine you're on a big, beautiful, fluffy cloud, just moving through the sky. Feeling that warm wind on your face and just enjoying being in a cloud. As you exhale, let's bring that left hand down in front of your face and then inhale the right arm up, gaze up. Exhale, the right hand comes down. Inhale, the left arm comes up, gaze up. Notice how the chest opens toward the left. And then exhale, thread the needle in the opposite direction. Your left hand comes out underneath your right. Right hand can stay on the floor in front of your face or come behind your back. Soften here. Still in that cloud. Letting the shoulder, the jaw, soft. The hips, letting them go. Good. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, come back into tabletop pose. And you're going to bring your hands forward a little bit and curl the toes under as you stretch out and come up into plank pose, top of your push-up. So I want you to imagine bandhas, okay? And the bandhas are your Uddiyana bandha, the abdominal muscles, or Mula bandha, the pelvic and bladder muscles. And here you're engaging those muscles. You'll also notice that the glutes engage when you do that. Very interesting how the tummy and the back of the glutes all kind of work together. Beautiful. Nice. And now we're going to do a side plank. So you can do the modification by bringing that left knee down, left foot off the mat, and bring the right arm up, gazing up. If you want to not do the modification, you can have both legs stretched out, nice and straight, all toes facing toward the right, and make sure you bring the hip up a little bit here, okay? As you exhale, come back into plank pose. And then we're going to do side plank on the other side. So you can either do the modification, right knee down, right foot up, or you can have both legs stretched out, both toes face toward the left. Inhale, the left arm comes up, gaze up, and breathe. Exhale, that left hand comes down, and we're going to go through our Chaturanga Dandasana. So it's a series of 3 poses. Plank pose, and then we come down to the bottom of our push-up, and then we come into up dog. So you can either go to up dog where your arms are pretty much stretched out, or you can bring the elbows down and hands are facing downward and you're gazing forward from here. So either one of those poses. I won't explain this every time we do it, but that is Chaturanga Dandasana, okay? And then the next pose is right into down dog, pushing the hips up and back and bringing the heels down. Beautiful. Press the hands down and push them forward as the hips go back. And on this first down dog, we'll alternately bend knees and elbows, which is called walking your dog. Kind of a funny expression. Yeah, letting those hamstrings stretch out. Good. And then eventually we bring the heels down. So if your heels are way off of the mat, maybe you bring your feet out a little bit farther. Yeah. Push those hips back. Nice. And release and soften the neck, the jaw, the shoulder. Good. And then on your inhale, let's bend your knees, gaze forward, and step or float your feet up to your hands for a nice forward fold. Let's bend the knees, grasp opposing elbows, let your head hang here. Imagine any stress from the hips, the spine, just melting off of your back, coming down onto the mat and disappearing there. Good. Shaking your head from side to side, taking any tension out of the neck, the jaw, and then slowly on your inhale, let's come all the way up to standing. Arms come up overhead, gaze up, reach and stretch. Now let's take the right hand to your left wrist and we're going to dip to the right. Good. Inhale, come back to center and take your left hand to the right wrist and dip to the left. Nice. Again, feel the stretch in the right obliques here. And then inhale, come back to center, gaze up, reach and stretch. Exhale to Samastitihi. Bring your palms together at heart center. Press the feet down. Feel your bandhas engaging your spine, lengthening. Your gaze is forward. Pressing the thumbs into the middle ribs in your chest. Good. So that is sun salutation A. So we're going to do 3 sun salutation A's. Ready? Inhale the arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, gaze behind you. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Let's go through our Chaturanga Dandasana. Top of your push-up, down to the bottom of the push-up. Point your toes. Inhale to Sphinx or Up Dog. Gaze forward. Let the lower back adjust here. And then curl the toes under, coming into Down Dog. Beautiful. You did it. You remembered. Gaze behind you, soften the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, engage your bandhas. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward, and step or float your feet forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, right hand to left wrist and dip to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Right hand to the left wrist, or other way around, and dip to the left. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, bring the palms together at heart center. Press the feet down. Engage the bandhas, gaze forward for Samastitihi. Take a deep breath. Let's do it one more time. So as we bring our hands out to the sides and then up, here we go. Urdhva arms overhead. Exhale, the hands come out to the sides and then down. Just easier than going forward and better for your arm muscles. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back, coming into plank pose. We're going through the Chaturanga Dandasana. So slowly coming down to the bottom of your push-up. Keep the elbows close to your body. Inhale to Sphinx or Up Dog, gaze forward. Exhale, curl the toes under, coming into Down Dog. Push the hips back. Press the palms down and forward. Breathe. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump your feet up to your hands. Gaze behind you. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale to Samasthiti. Take a deep breath. So, now that we've done our 3 sun salutation A's, we're going to add to this flow. So let's take that left foot and bring it behind you at a 45-degree angle. Bend the right knee so that the knee is over your heel. You might have to move your foot forward in order to do that. Notice that your heels are in a straight line. Take your hands to your hips and bring them so that your belly button is facing forward. Inhale the arms up overhead for warrior 1. Press the outer edge of that left heel into the mat. Gaze up. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring the hands behind you and clasp them. Inhale, gaze up. Shine your chest up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the head down, gaze behind you, and bring the hands up overhead, if it's possible, for humble warrior. Beautiful. Now, as you exhale, let's bring your hands around your right foot. Good. And gaze forward as you come onto the ball of the left foot. So push that left heel back. Runner's lunge. Good. Now press that left hand down and inhale the right arm up for dragonfly. Gaze up. Beautiful. Open the chest toward the right. Exhale, that right hand comes down. And then as you inhale, bring the right foot back to meet the left. And slowly, we'll go through our Chaturanga Dandasana. If you're a little tired of doing that over and over, you can go straight to down dog. So it's your choice. Yeah, it's always your choice because it's your practice. Very good. So we went through plank, bottom of the push-up, inhale to up dog, exhale to down dog, gaze behind you. Beautiful. Now breathe. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, exhale, step or jump your feet up to hands. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale to Samasthiti. Beautiful. Now let's bring that right foot back, 45-degree angle. Bend the left knee at close to a 90-degree angle. Turn the hips so they're facing forward. Bring the arms up overhead for warrior 1. Gaze up. Exhale, bring your hands behind you and clasp them. Shoulder blades together, shine your chest up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your head down to gaze behind you and arms come up overhead. Yeah, feel the triceps there, stretching, engaging. Inhale, come back up. Arms come up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, palms come together at heart center. Now let's bring the hands down around that left foot. Come onto the ball of the right foot and gaze forward. Runner's lunge. Push the right heel back. Press the right hand down and inhale the left arm up for dragonfly, opening up that chest toward the left. Good. Smile. Exhale, that left hand comes down, left foot meets the right, and slowly come down. Inhale, up to up dog, and exhale. We're going to bring the knees apart, the toes together, and bring your hips back. Forehead touches the mat for child's pose. Stretch your palms out in front of you and relax. Nice job. The rest is just as important as the stretching. And then inhale, let's come up to a tabletop pose. And then we're just going to come all the way down to your tummy. Good. And now bring your hands to the corners of your mat and then stretch them out from there. So your hands are down, your gaze is forward, your chest is pointing forward here, and your tummy's on the mat. You're going to point your toes out behind you. Very good. Good. Now just slightly bring that right leg up. Good. Hold there. And exhale down. Keeping the legs straight. And inhale, the left leg comes up. It's not a whole lot, but you can feel it through the whole back of your leg. And back down. Let's do that again on both sides. Inhale the right leg up. Yeah, I'm feeling a little more confident this time. Good. Breathe. 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 Exhale it down. And then inhale the left leg up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Good. Now bring your hands to your sides. Point your palms upward and take your head face toward the right. Beautiful. Nice. Inhale, bring the chin down so that you're facing your head, your face down. And then turn the neck toward the left. So your face is going toward the left. So there you go. Okay, very good. Now let's come back to center. I just wanted you to get some flexibility in your neck before we did the other stuff. Now let's bend your knees. Good. And I want you to take hold of the right ankle with the right hand. And just gently bring your right heel toward your right tush. Good. And you can rest your face down. You can turn it in either direction, whichever one is most comfortable, probably toward the right. Good. And then exhale, release that foot. Now let's keep the foot up though, and then we're going to take your left hand and hold on to your left ankle. Bring the left heel towards your tush, gently of course. We don't want to hurt anything. We're going towards our edge, that place of greatest resistance without any pain. Yeah, you're going to feel this in the quad on your left. Breathe. Yeah, you need the oxygen to do this. Very good. And then as you exhale, release. Okay, now let's bring that chest a little bit farther up, and we're going to try to hold on to both of your ankles. If that's too hard, you can always you can do one side at a time and do that over, or you can take your strap and bring them around your ankles and hold on to the strap. Okay? And then we're going to bring the chest up. We're going to bring the feet toward your tush. And this is called bow pose because you will notice your knees and maybe the pelvic area comes up. Shoulder blades come together. Oh, yeah. Great core pose. Everything's working here, especially the back side of your body. Yeah, which we just forget about a lot of the time. As you exhale, release, lower. Bring your hands underneath your chin and rest. Let's inhale here for 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale. Little at a time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you feel everything loosening up? Beautiful. And then let's come up into a kneeling position. Bring your arms up overhead, gaze up. Yes. As you exhale, let's curl the toes under. Right hand comes down, out behind you. As you twist toward the right, left hand is forward. Bring that right hand down toward the right heel. Inhale the left arm up, stretch. Yeah, so this is a kneeling exalted, or sometimes they call it heart pose. Inhale, the right arm comes up. Exhale, left hand comes down and out behind you. Stretch out those fingers. Good job. And then inhale the right arm up. Left hand goes towards your heel. Gaze up. Stretch. Beautiful. Inhale, the left hand meets the right. Bring the palms together at heart center. Point your toes. And then inhale, bring the right foot forward. Nice. We're going to curl those left toes under. We're going to go into crescent pose. So you might want to put your hands on your right thigh to give yourself a push. Left knee comes up and you push that left heel back. Good. And when you feel steady here, then bring the arms up overhead. Keep that right knee bent. Yes. Good job. You can gaze forward or you can gaze up. Neither one or both of them are terrific. As you exhale, let's bring the hands down to your sides. Inhale, up overhead. Exhale, let's bring them down to your sides and the left knee comes down. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, bring your palms together at heart center and turn the left toes toward the long end of the mat, coming into warrior two. Arms come out to a T. Right knee stays bent. Yeah. And outer edge of the left foot is pressed into the mat. Bring that left hip back a little bit. Good. Soften through the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, and gaze past your right fingers. Inhale here, exhale here. And as you exhale, let yourself sink into the pose. Inhale, reverse. Right arm comes up, gaze up. Left hand can go down your thigh or behind your hips, pushing them gently forward. Beautiful. Exhale, extended side angle. Right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm over the left ear. Gaze up toward the left fingers. Beautiful. Now we're going to take this right hand and bring it down to the floor. Or if you have a block, maybe you take the block and put it underneath your hand, okay? And then let's bring the left hand up toward the ceiling. Good. And now the right hand is here on the block. Good job. Right knee is still bent. And your chest is open toward the left. Beautiful. Breathe here. Yeah, it's a little bit kind of an extended warrior. And then as you inhale, let's come back into warrior two. Straighten out that right leg. Reach your right arm out and down to the knee, shin or floor. Inhale the left arm up. Gaze up. So we want the shoulders stacked here, the whole chest open. You can do this against a wall, and you want your whole backside against that wall. Yeah, including this left hand. Good. And then as you exhale or inhale, let's come up to standing. You're going to face toward the front of your mat and bring the feet closer together, and all toes are going to be facing forward. Okay? Inhale the arms up overhead, gaze up, and let's rainfall the hands down to the mat or a block if you want to use it. Bring your forehead toward your shin. Push your hip back. And then take your left hand and press it onto the block, which is on your left here. And then inhale the right arm up. Good. Revolve triangle. Gazing up toward the right fingers. Trying to keep the legs straight if you can. If not, it's okay for a little bend. Good. Exhale, that right hand comes down. Now, let's take that block and just put it behind us, and we're going to turn. Hands are on the mat, and you're turning yourself toward the long end of the mat. Feet are nice and wide apart. Heels are a little wider than the toes, so the toes pointing inward. Hands under your head for a wide leg forward fold. Gaze behind you. Elbows are pointed behind you. Press your feet down. Good. Engage your bandhas. Soften the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to hips. Come halfway up. Exhale, come all the way up to standing. Point the toes outward and bring the palms together at heart center. Walk your feet inward so that they come together for Samastitihi. Beautiful. Nice job. You made it. One side done on this flow. Good. Now press that left foot down. Yeah. We're going to do a couple of balancing poses. So let's bring the right knee up. And we're going to go into tree pose. So right sole of the foot is Going to go either down here so the toe is on the floor or up into your calf, or you might even want to bring it up into your thigh, okay, which is a little bit harder and takes a little more coordination. There, and my pants are a little slippery, so, and then the arms come out for your branches. Good. Just make sure that that foot is not on your knee. We don't want to put any pressure on your knee. Good. Breathe. And then as you exhale, let's bring the palms together at heart center and bring the foot down. Now let's take your strap and we're going to extend our leg, right leg out in front of us. So again, pushing that left foot down, rooting it in. And then we're going to bring the strap around your right foot. Left hand comes to the left hip. Inhale, that right leg comes out in front of you. Good. Nice job. Push the heel forward. Yeah. Here your drishti is on a non-moving space or object. And that keeps you concentrated on lengthening the spine, keeping your breath nice and even, breathing in and out. As you exhale, release that strap, bring both hands to your hips, and then let's just swing that foot back and forward, and then back, coming into a nice airplane pose. Arms come out to a T as you are balancing on that left foot. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring the right foot down. Shake the legs up. And we're going to turn toward the back of the mat, coming to Samasthiti. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Slowly going through that Chaturanga Dandasana. This time we're going to end up in a kneeling position. Once again, instead of down dog, okay? Palms come together at heart center. Now take this left foot and bring it forward. Left knee is bent. Nice. Inhale, arms come up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, left hand comes down and out behind you. Open up the chest toward the left. Inhale, the right hand comes up. Left hand comes down toward your heel or behind your back. Gaze up. Inhale, left hand meets the right. Bring the palms to your left quad. Curl your right toes under. Now we're going to go into our crescent pose. So lifting ourselves up, bringing the right knee up, pushing the right heel back. Keep this left knee bent, and then the arms come up overhead. Gaze up. Beautiful. Breathe here. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your sides. Inhale back up. Exhale down and the right knee comes down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, bring the palms together at heart center and turn the right toes toward the long end of the mat, coming into warrior two. Gazing past the left fingers. Bring that right hip back a little bit. Good. Nice job. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left arm over the left ear, right hand down your thigh or behind your hips. Gaze up. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm over the right ear, nice and straight and long, and look up toward the right fingers. There's a nice straight line between your right fingertips and your right heel. Nice. Now remember, we're going to bring this left hand down. You can use a block underneath it or not. And the right hand goes up toward the ceiling as you open your chest. Good. Gazing up. Inhale, come all the way up to standing warrior two. Straighten out that left leg. Reach your left arm out and down for triangle. Inhale the right arm up. Gaze up. Open up that chest. Stack your shoulders. If you're against the wall, feel the whole back of your body against the wall. Good. Inhale, come up to standing, and we're going to turn our body toward the back of your mat. Shorten your stance, bring your feet closer together. And then inhale the arms up overhead and waterfall the fingertips down around your left foot. Good. So I'm just going to grab a block here so I don't have it before. All right. Push the hips back. Try to keep the legs relatively straight. Forehead comes down toward your left shin. If you want, take your right hand and put it on a block. And then inhale the left arm up. Revolve triangle. Gazing up toward the left finger. Soften that left wrist. As you exhale, that left hand comes down. You can get rid of the block. You're going to just walk your hands toward the long end of the mat for a wide leg forward fold. Feet are nice and wide. Toes are pointed inward. Press the hips up, gaze behind you. Maybe you grasp your big toes with your peace fingers. Elbows are going to face outward this time. Soften through the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Right. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then bring the palms together at heart center. Now walk the feet together. Good. For Samastiti. And we'll do our balancing poses on the left side. So I'm actually going to walk and bring my feet off of the mat. Sometimes it's easier to do balancing poses if you are on a more solid floor rather than a cushy mat. So just an option there. And we're going to start with tree pose. So the right foot is rooted into the mat. Left foot either starts out at the bottom, the calf, or up onto your thigh. All right? And then I'm going to go for my calf here. My Hands are a little too slippery for the thigh. And then bring the arms out for balancing pose. Or for, sorry, for tree pose. There you go. Good. As you exhale, bring the palms together at heart center and bring that left foot down. Now we're going to take that strap and we're going to extend our left foot out in front for the next pose. So make sure your right foot is nice and rooted. Strap goes around your left foot, right hand comes to your hip. And then slowly bring that left leg out in front of you. Push the heel forward. Yeah. Notice that feeling. A lot of stuff going on here in your leg. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring that left foot down. Wiggle the legs a little bit. And then we're just going to take our left leg and bring it backward and frontward and backward, kind of a swing. And then eventually we're going to end up in airplane pose, where the left leg comes out behind you, arms come out to a T, chest is facing down, and your left heel is pushing back. And you have a huge smile on your face. Beautiful. As you exhale, bring that left foot down, turn toward the front of the mat, coming to Samasthiti. Take a nice inhale here and an exhale. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Slowly, let's go through that Chaturanga Dandasana. But this time, we're going to end with a child's pose. Knees apart, toes together. Forehead comes down. Hips reach toward the heels. And stretch your palms out in front of you. And rest. And breathe. And then as you inhale, let's come up into a tabletop pose. Let's bring the right leg out behind you, stretch it out. And then right knee comes up to the right wrist, right foot comes over to the left. Stretch your left leg out behind you, point the toes inward. Inhale, open the chest and the arms for Titanic. And exhale, going into pigeon pose. Bring your forehead down to the mat or your hands or a block. And then just relax here. Breathe deeply. So you're going to notice the hip flexor is stretching here and opening up. And if you breathe nice and deep, you'll give it plenty of space to do that and oxygen to do that. Let's do 2 more long breaths. And then let's place the hands down, straighten out the arms, come on to the right hip, bring your left leg out in front of you. Take the right foot and bring that right foot either to your left calf or your left thigh, not on your knee. Left foot, heels facing forward. And then let's take your right hand and bring it out behind you. Palm is down, facing behind you. And then inhale, come back to center. Bring the arms up overhead, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Reaching toward your left toes for Janu Sirsasana. Now, if you have difficulty with this, you can always take your strap and bring it around that left foot and hold on to the strap. You can also take that pillow or bolster and put it on your left thigh and lean on that bolster. That should soften this. You can also take a block and put it underneath your right knee. Or you can do all of the above. Yeah, they're all modifications and they're great for working toward a full stretch here. And then as you inhale, let's come up and let's stretch out that right leg and shake it out. Beautiful. Cross your legs in front of you. Bring your hands to the mat and come back into a tabletop pose. Good. Now take the left leg, bring it out behind you. Push the heel back. Bring your left knee to your left wrist. Left foot comes over to the right. And then stretch your right leg out behind you. Point the toes inward. Inhale, open your arms for Titanic. Exhale, bring your forehead down to the mat or your hands or a block. And then relax your body over this left hip. Breathe deeply. Maybe think of something pleasant. Maybe ocean waves coming into the beach. The rustle of the leaves as you walk out in the woods this time of year in the fall is so beautiful. Waterfalls. As you're thinking about that, take 2 more long, deep breaths here. Keep visualizing something very pleasant. And then bring your hands to the mat. Straighten up your arms, come on to your left hip and bring the right leg out in front of you. Beautiful. Left sole of your foot comes into your right calf or thigh. And then we're going to take your left arm and bring it out behind you. Turn toward the left. Then come back to center. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Push the right heel out. Again, modifications would be to take a strap and put it around your right foot. Hold onto the strap. Take a block and put it under your left knee. Let that knee relax there. And or putting a bolster or a pillow on top of your right thigh so you have something to lean into. Let's keep the spine nice and straight here. This is another hip opener. A little different position. And then inhale, come all the way up to seated. Stretch that left leg out and shake it out. Yeah, feels good to shake that out. And then let's bring our knees up to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Now we're going to do like a quick boat pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hands out in front of us, reaching toward the intersection of the wall and the ceiling. We're going to bring our back a little bit. Engage your bandhas, abdominal and pelvic muscles. And then you can either take your legs and stretch them completely out or halfway out. Okay, so here we go. Boat pose. 2, 3, 4, 5, and give yourself a hug. And boat pose. 2, 3, 4, 5, and give yourself a hug. And one more time. Boat pose. 2, 3, 4, 5, and give yourself that big hug. And then stretch your legs out. Come onto the mat and let's do a nice extension of stretching the fingertips in one direction and the toes in another direction. Two-way stretch. Breathing in through the nose. Hold the breath. And exhale through the mouth. And then let's bring your hands to your sides. Bring your feet to the back so your knees are now bent. And inhale, your hips come up for bridge pose. Clasp your hands behind your hips. Good. Press the feet down. Smile. Good. As you exhale, bring the hips down, and we're going to bring your feet up toward the ceiling for candlestick pose. Good. You can have your hands underneath your hips here a little bit. I mean, not completely, but just kind of giving yourself a little support there. Feels good to me. Push the heels up. So this is candlestick. If shoulder stand is in your practice, you can do that. In that case, you would bring your hips up and hands would come behind your hips, and then the feet would come out behind you and then up toward the ceiling. Good. So either one, as long as your feet are up toward the air, your choice. Either one of these will get your lymph nodes pumping, which is great for your immune system. That's what gets our immune system working. And it does need a pump. And your emotions are the pump. So, very nice. You can play around with this. You bring the legs apart. You can do a scissors or a bike. Yeah. Or some people call this seaweed. Yeah. Good. And then if you're in candlestick, you can go into happy baby. And I'm not in that, so I'm going to just tell you how to do it. You're going to bend your knees, bring your arms in between your knees and to the outer edges of your feet. And then your feet come apart and push outward. Your hands pull inward, kind of a hug, tug motion. If you are in shoulder stand like I am, you can bring yourself into plow pose, bringing the toes out behind you. Maybe they touch the mat behind you. Good. And from there, bend your knees and bring the knees to either side of your head for Karna Padasana, ear pressure pose. And then slowly, no matter where you are, let's bring the hips down and bring the hands to either side of your hips. Press the elbows down and bring your head up. And then as you exhale, bring the top of your head to the mat. Gaze behind you for Utthana Padasana. You can stay here. Toes are pointed here. Or if you want, you can bring the legs up to a 45-degree angle and the arms out to about a 45-degree angle so that all that is touching the floor is the top of your head and your touch. Yeah, pretty tricky. And then as you exhale, release. So that kind of resets your back. Bring your arms to the sides. Bend your knees. Bring the hips over to the left 4 inches. Knees to your chest and over to the right for a spinal twist. Maybe if your neck allows, you can gaze past your left fingers. Inhale, come back to center and bring the hips 8 inches to the right. Knees go up to your chest and over to the left. And if your neck allows, gaze past your right fingers. Letting go of the breath, the bandhas, the drishti. Just coming back to your normal breath. And then inhale, come back to center. You can release your feet to the end of the mat, and we're at Shavasana. Hands come to your sides, palms facing up, chin faces forward, and you can close your eyes. So this is the traditional Shavasana or corpse pose. I really encourage people to be in any position here that you feel that you can totally let go and rest. So if it's child's pose, or if you want to come onto your tummy or your side, whatever works for you. It's all about resting, and usually at the end of a yoga flow, this is, well, it can range from 5 to 15 minutes. Yeah, it's a very important part of the flow. And because I am recording, I usually don't keep it for that long. But you are welcome to stay in this pose as long as you want, and then finish your yoga on your own. So if you want to stay in Shavasana, you can. Otherwise, swiggle the toes and fingers, open the eyes, bring your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a big hug, and then come over to your favorite side. Renewing your mind, your body, and your spirit. Slowly coming into a seated position, crossing your legs in front of you, and then bringing the arms up overhead, sealing in your practice, bringing the palms together at heart center. May the God-given light and love in me reach out to that same light and love in you. Namaste. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful week, and I will see you next time.